Hello everyone, welcome back and welcome to day 3. We are going to be focusing on our lower body, specifically our hips and our hamstrings. So I'm going to pull out a few props today. I'm going to use 2 blocks as well as a strap. So find a little bit of space to move, maybe some things to use today, and let's get started. So let's begin today laying down. If you've got a strap to use, have it close by and just place your blocks off to the side. You can come onto your back, laying down and then just bending your knees, planting your feet for a moment. If you wanted to take a couple rocks of your knees side to side, give your low back a gentle massage. And then you can start to bring your feet together and let your knees fall out wide, making a diamond shape with the legs and just noticing how your hips feel in this position. Close your eyes and take a nice deep breath in and out. And do that again. Take a deep breath in. And let it go. One more. Nice big inhale. And let it go. Nice, you guys. You can slowly bring your knees back together, keeping your knees bent, your feet planted. If you have a strap to make your arms longer, you can find it. We'll be lifting our right foot up into the air and creating some length through that leg. So if you wanted to simply just hold on to your leg with your hands, you could do that too. Sending your heel up, kind of pointing your toes towards your forehead. Feel the nice stretch all the way down the back of that leg. If you want a little extra, you can send your left leg out long too. But just soften your shoulders again. Feel the stretch through your right leg. Just one more breath. And then you can start to bend your right leg, bring your foot down. The left leg can come up. Add your strap. Or just send your heel up, flexing your foot. Find that nice hamstring and calf stretch. The strap allows us to relax a little bit more through the upper body by making our arms nice and long. You can send your right leg out. If you want a little extra, maybe encourage your low back into the mat a little more too. And find that sweet spot. If you need to move your leg around a little bit, bend the knee, straighten the leg until you get that awesome stretch. Take just one more breath here. And then you can slowly start to bend your leg, take your strap off of your foot. If you have a strap, let's just move it to the side, but take a couple rocks of your knees side to side if you'd like, or hug your knees all the way into your chest. And then you can decide if you're gonna roll over or rock yourself forwards, but we're gonna come onto our hands and knees into tabletop. And once you are there, I want you just to have your strap close by at the top of your mat in case you want to use it later. And if you've got blocks to use, they're just going to help us feel a little bit more supported. So you could have one on either side of your mat. And then we'll be making our way into a lunge. So your right foot can come forwards. And you can start, all of our lunges are gonna look different. You can start by having your hips over top of your back knee. And then the more your hip flexor allows you to come forwards, you can scoot your front foot towards the top of your mat. And each time you do that, the more space you bring between your your feet or that back knee and your front foot, the deeper you're going to get into that hip flexor. So let's relax our upper body. If you're able to rest your hands on blocks, you could do that. You could use your mats. Maybe you've got some different heights to use. And then just kind of allow the hips to sink forwards and down. And when I say that, it's my way of saying, try to tuck your tailbone under. Try to send those hips, the tailbone under a little bit. No matter where you are in your lunge, send your hips forwards and down. Find that awesome hip flexor stretch. Keep your chest low on your front knee. Maybe close your eyes or just gaze at your big toe. Just one more breath here. Feel the love through that left leg and hip. And then slowly start to send your hips back as you straighten that front leg a little bit. Sometimes the blocks come in handy here to transition smoothly between a half split and a lunge. So finding some length through the front leg. Point your toes up if you want more. Move your blocks so that they're helping you. If you're using blocks, or just melt your chest towards your knee a little more so that your hands can be resting on your mat. Feeling the love, the stretch all through the back of that front leg. Awesome work, you guys. Letting an inhale bring you back, bending your front knee back into your lunge, sinking your hips forwards and down. Might have to move your blocks with you along the way as we move along here. But we're gonna start to heel toe our foot out to that right side of our mat. So heel toe over into your lizard. Turn your toes out so they're on an angle. Let your knee fall out to the side. You can now bring your hands under your shoulders or onto your blocks. And let your hips get heavy. Sink your hips down. You can keep your chest lifted. You could come onto your forearms on your mat, on your blocks. You might even push into the top of your back foot to take the weight off of your knee and then gently rest it back down. And maybe there's a little less pressure, a lot less pressure on that back knee if you just lift it up for a moment. Nice job, you guys. All right, so we're gonna bend our back leg if you want to, and your strap might come in useful here. If you are on your forearms, you could lift back up onto your hands. We'll be placing our left hand on the edge of our mat and then reaching back for our back leg or foot by bending that leg. You might be able to catch your foot without using a strap, or maybe you need to make your arms longer and use a strap. Feel free to skip this part, but it can be an awesome quad stretch and hip stretch. And it's a nice deep stretch. Just here for a moment. So if you do have your back leg bent and your strap hooked on it as gracefully as you can take it off, sometimes it's a little tricky using a strap, but be mindful that it can help you get a really awesome stretch. So heel toe your foot back to the middle of your mat. And then send your hips back one more time for your half split. You can point your toes up. You can drop your chest more. You might even bring your blocks further away, creating some extra length through your arms, maybe through your spine. Wherever you feel the most supported and gives you the best stretch through your hamstring and your calf. Awesome, you guys. Let's use an inhale. Bend back into your front knee. So you're in your lunge. And then we're going to find tabletop again. So you can bring your right knee down. Take a gentle rock of the hips maybe. Shake it out a little bit. And then our left foot can start to come forwards. We can switch sides. You can take a longer break if you need. And then let's find our lunge, a lunge that works for us. So whether your hips are pretty much on top of your back knee, you can still tuck your tailbone under there like you're sending your hips forwards. Feel that engagement of the hip flexor of the top of the quad. Maybe scoot your front foot forwards. And your hips too, and just find that place where you get the awesome hip flexor stretch. You're able to relax a bit. Maybe you're able to drop your chest and rest your hands on your mat, or maybe you are lifted up. But just sinking into the hips. Softening through the shoulders. Awesome work, you guys. Slowly, you can start to send your hips back, finding the length through that left leg, any amount. Move your hands, you feel supported in your half split. Point your toes up if you want extra. Drop your chest if you want even more than that. Nicely done, you guys. Letting an inhale. Bend you back into that front knee, back into your lunge. You can heel toe your foot to the left side when you're ready for your lizard. So knee out to the side, turn your foot so it's on an angle. Bring your hands under your shoulders, whether they are on blocks or just your mat. Sink into your hips. Maybe push into your back foot a little. Lift your knee for a moment. Bring it down. It always helps take the pressure out of my knee anyways. If you want to, you could drop onto the forearms if you need more through those hips. Just find your breath. And then you can decide if you are going to add that quad stretch in, if you're going to bend your back leg. Place your right hand on the edge of your mat. Grab your strap if you would like to add that in. Bend your back leg and try to catch your foot. Sometimes it takes a moment to hook the strap on. And sink into those hips, bringing the heel towards the glutes just as much as you need to. Just one more breath here. And then you can slowly let that go. Let your leg go out long again. You can heel toe your foot back to the middle of your mat in your lunge. And then send the hips back. Find one more half split. So if you stick with me over the next 31 days, or a few less than that since we're on day 3. It's always nice to have props close by. You're gonna see some of these same stretches, especially the lizard with the quad. So having a strap close by most of the time is always nice. Having blocks close by, if you've got blocks, is always nice, just in case you wanna use anything. And I haven't specifically told you to use anything. Let's bend back into our front knee, into our lunge. Take just another breath. And then you can find your tabletop. Bring that left knee back. Your hands maybe to your mat. Give your hips a nice little rock, side to side. And then you can just make your way into a comfy seat. Cross-legged, sit on your heels for a second. That is it. That is all for today. Thank you for being here. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. And until then, namaste.